Hello everyone, welcome to Chasing Adventures. Today we're going to take a look at some camping gears from Temu. So if you have never camped before but would like to, or don't know where to start or what to purchase, I'm going to show you guys everything you need to go camping for around $250. And I'll have some bonus items, so make sure to stick around till the end of the video. Alright, so if you've been following my channel, I'm sure you guys have seen my silent camping videos where I show you all the newest, coolest camping gear for the most part. And if you haven't seen them, I'll leave the link up here or in the video description so you could check it out after this video. And you should really check it out because I try to make it as relaxing as possible and still demonstrate how to use different camping gear. Anyways, but if you are new to camping or want to start with the basic equipment, you really don't need all the newest expensive equipment to go camping. Especially if it's going to be your first time camping and not sure if you're going to like the hobby, you really don't want to spend a lot of money on something you'll most likely never use again. So to keep your wallets thick, I have purchased all the basic equipments that you'll need to start your camping adventure for around $250 from Temu. And by comparison, that's really cheap. Considering, let's say you walked into REI, an average 4-person tent will cost between $150 to upwards of $500. And you still need to purchase everything else on top of that. So to have a complete set for around $250 is a bargain. So first, you're going to need a shelter. And again, if this is your first time, you don't want to get a tent that's expensive or something that is complicating to set up. So I got this pop-up tent, which is quite simple to set up. And I have a very similar tent, which saves a lot of time and hassle when setting up the tent at camp. So let me show you how to set this tent. Okay, so let's take the tent out of the back first. And it comes with a Velcro strap, which is very nice. And now unroll the tent. So it does come with the awning pole. We have some guy lines. Yeah, and just basic tent stake, which I'll probably replace these because these are very flimsy and they'll bend easily. But we'll go over that a little later. So, and here's the tent. You just open it up like that. So after spreading the legs open, just bring it up and pop these poles out like that. And then you want to grab this top portion here, kind of like an umbrella. Just bring it down and lock it in place. And then this is actually a lot bigger than I expected. Just extend the legs here on each pole like that. And this has 1, 2, 6 corners, so we got to do all 6 corners. All right, so here's the tent. Now the tent has 2 doors. They're both the same size. And this tent could occupy 4 people and some spare room to put your camping equipment in the tent. And depending on the ambient temperature of your surrounding area, you could use the tent as is. And this way it'll keep the bugs and mosquito out, but if it's humid or hot, it'll still, you'll have enough breeze, cooler breeze that goes through the tent. But if you're in a colder environment where rain, you have the rain cover to put on top of the tent. And this will actually cover the whole tent. So let's try doing that first. Now when putting the rain cover, you want to line it up with the doors. And once you have it lined up, what I normally do is just throw it in the air. And after you arrange the front and just come around to the back and pull the rain cover back like this. And there you have it. Now to enter the tent, could unzip the front door. And you have access to your main tent. And this tent is fairly tall. So I'm about 5'8", and I am able to kind of stand with my head a little tucked. So, you know, you could change your clothes in here very easily and walk around in here, which is good. And you do want to stake your tent to the ground. And once you have that staked, the rainfly will kind of go onto the stake, to each stake like this. So it'll have tension. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, it's pretty easy to set up, right? All you have to do is just, oh, let me do that all the way, yeah. So all you have to do is just take it out of the bag, roll it out, stand it up, and put the tensioner down, and then extend the legs, and you have a tent within, that probably took me what, like, I don't know, 20 seconds to set this tent. So yeah, I mean, this is great. And it's really roomy. And once you have it tensioned, you could use this with the pole and open it as an awning like this. So you have more coverage if it's raining, and you could actually sit down here and enjoy the rain. So yeah, this is great. Again, I thought it was gonna be a lot smaller, but bigger the better. And you have some windows to ventilate the tent. Oh, that's kind of neat. So if it's raining a lot, you could put the pole in here like that, and just put the pole outside. So this way, this will stand out like this. So it'll give you ventilation, but yet have protection from the rain. Or if you want more air to circulate, there's a second zipper that opens fully. So this way, you know, you get plenty of ventilation. Just roll it up like that. That's nice. And there are windows on every panel other than the two doors. So this will have plenty of air ventilation. And although they're not using expensive YKK zippers, you know, it just says PY, I don't know what that is, but it does zip up nicely. It's really smooth. And all the materials are seamed pretty well. Yeah, and it's got a silver lining inside, so this will give you more insulation when you're using this tent in the colder weather rather than just having a non-silver lined fabric. Now let me take the rain cover out again and show you guys how it looks when I'm inside the tent. All right, so I don't know if you guys could see me in here, but I'm in the tent, and I could, right in the middle, I could fully stand straight. And if I sleep here on this side, 1, 2, 3, you know, comfortably 3, but you could fit 4 people in here. Now after shelter, next thing that's important to me is to get a good night's sleep while camping. And the best way to do that is to be off the ground, so not laying down on cold, uneven ground. And the easiest way to do that is, other than sweeping the ground and taking all the rocks underneath you, is by getting a simple cot like this. And this is a perfect way to get you off the ground. Plus, it falls into pretty compact size, so it's easy to travel with. So let me show you guys how to set this up. All right, so we got 2 poles, and they have bungee cords inside, so it's easy to slip into. Just like that. Like that. Do that to the other one. Perfect. And if you look at each end, there's an opening on one side, and this is on the other side is completely closed. So what you want to do is you want to stick the pole in through here, connect it all the way down to the end. Now once you have the poles in the sleeves, come back to the opening area, grab this loop, and you want to pull and put the pole into the sleeve. I think I'm better on this side. Slip the pole into the sleeve like that. Okay, and we have to do the other side. Okay, once you have the pole set, these are going to be the legs. Okay, so this is the leg, and they have bungee cord inside too. So put the legs into the pole and extend the pole like that, okay? And then simply, we're gonna start this in the middle. What you wanna do is you wanna stick one end to the pole and the other end, grab the pole and pull. So basically pull on the cot and push the leg down and put it in between the poles like this. And you want to repeat that 4 more times. Okay, the cot is ready to go. Now this is like the basic cot you could get. The reason why I got this is because first, obviously the price and the simplicity and the lightweight of this cot. Now I did review different types of cot system and the sleeping methods that you could do while camping. And if you want to check that video out, I'll also leave that in the link in the video description. But yeah, this is pretty basic. It does have little pockets, storage pockets to hold your cell phone, your keys or whatnot. But yeah, as soon as you set this on the ground, immediately you are off the ground. So even though, no matter how rocky or uneven the surface is, you are going to be on a flat, pretty comfy, bouncy surface. Now, this should be good enough, but to make it even more comfortable, get a self-inflating air mattress that is at least 3 inches thick. This way you could adjust the firmness to your liking, because I've had thinner ones before. You know, it gave some support. I mean, it was still better than nothing, but I still found myself tossing and turning throughout the night. So at least 3 inch thick, like this one, will be perfect. Plus, the air in the mattress will also work as an insulator between the cold ground and yourself, so it'll keep you warm as well. And you don't need to get both. One or the other is perfectly fine, but I do highly recommend this combination. And since it's self-inflating, all you have to do is take it out of the bag, roll it flat out, open the valves, and it'll inflate on its own. Now, to adjust the firmness, you could either blow it up a few times to make it firmer or use it as is by closing the valve. And this one has a built-in pillow, so you don't need to bring your own pillow, which is one less thing to remember, and it's very comfortable. So I highly recommend this setup. Oh yeah, very comfortable. And the good part is you could fit this into the tent. Oh yeah, it's nice and cozy. I'm gonna take a nap. Next, you'll need a chair to sit and a table to cook and dine with. And a chair might be something, you might have to find the one that fits your body frame. And you know, you could try out and get a simple quad chair, but those are bulky to carry around and not exactly comfortable. Well, at least for me, because those chairs were my first purchase, but they were digging through my thighs. So it wasn't very comfortable to me. So try to get something like this that's more compact to carry around, and also that's lower to the ground. This way you could extend your legs out while resting, and it's more level with the table. And same thing with the table. Something that's compact like this, it will be just fine. So let me show you guys how to set these up. So let me do the chair first. Roll it out. Okay, this is the base of the chair. So undo the straps and just pop it open. Everything has bungee cords inside, so just snap right in place. Okay, so I got the chair frame ready. Now for the seat cover, I like to do the bottom first. And I'll show you why in just a bit. Okay, so the reason why I like to do the bottom first is because the top has, it's longer and has a little more flex. So when you give tension to put the upper portion, it's easier to do this than down here. All right, so chair set. And this chair has rounded feet, but if you're at a beach or sandy place, this is gonna sink right in. So this chair gives you these wider feet that snaps right in here like that. So it'll give you more stability when using it. Okay. All right, so I got the chair ready. It's not too bad. And again, the reason why I like lower chairs because one, obviously it's not gonna be digging through your thighs, and when you're relaxing, it's easier to extend your legs and just be in that zone. It's pretty comfy. But again, chair is something you might have to look into and try out different chairs because, for one, this is a bit on the narrower side. So even for my body frame, it is kind of digging on my shoulder blade a little bit. So if you're a bigger individual, try to get something that's wider and bigger. So that way you're gonna enjoy your camping experience. Now for the table, okay, so again, this is a basic table. We have the tabletop and the frame. So the frame opens up like this, and these bars will go onto the opposite side to snap in place, like so. Okay, so the frame is ready. And then we just need to snap the tabletop into this place. Snap it there. Snap that in place. And the last one. Okay, now we have the table ready. So again, lower chair is better with, camping tables. Can you imagine sitting on a quad chair like this? That's gonna be really awkward. So yeah, or you could extend your legs like this, and dine off of. So, and again, obviously there are different types of table, how big, how wide, how tall. Same thing with the chairs. So those are something that you might want to look into and think about how are you going to use this. Are you going to be standing a lot more often or sitting down more? Because if you're sitting down, this setup is much better than the taller ones, in my opinion. So, and plus this is basic table, right? Easy to set up, and you can just move it next to you, have your cold drink, enjoy the view. All right, so you got the shelter, the bedding, and table and a chair set up. Now we need to eat, right? While camping. So, which is the best part about camping? I don't know, something about eating outdoors under the star, it just makes everything taste so much better. So these are some of the things you're going to need. A stove, some plates, cooking utensils, and pots and pan. Now you could bring plates you already use at home or paper plates, but these stainless steel plates are good for all types of meals, and it's environmentally friendly because it's reusable. So I do recommend these. And same thing with cooking utensils and pots and pans. But this set, for the price, which is a bargain, has everything you need. I mean, you got spatula, you got pepper and salt bottle holders, you got tongues, kitchen towel, you even have gloves to handle hot food. You got scissors, utensils, a wine opener, and cutting board, and a knife. Well, actually two knives, and they're blacked out, which is my favorite color, if you haven't noticed. And it even has a vegetable peeler. And it'll be great to separate ones you use at home, so when you're getting ready to go camping, all you need to do is pack this bag, so you don't need to dig through your kitchen, and surely you're gonna forget to bring something. And a stove is a must, which you can start off with this basic stove, which is perfectly fine. It's really easy to set up. Just open the legs like so and extend the legs. And connect to your isobutane canister, and you have a stove ready to go. Now this stove is what I first started off with, and this one has 3 burners, so it puts out a lot of heat for such a small compact design. It also has an igniter, so you don't need to bring a lighter, which could be intimidating at first when you had the gas and you're like, oh, I'll try to light the stove. So it's good to know that it comes with the igniter that works. And same thing for the pots and pan. If you're solo camping, a small pot like this, which is perfectly fine. And pan. This one, you open this first, throw the handle in here, and lock the handle. All right, that's good. This is a good size for 1 person, or maybe 2, and a small little frying pan, and it's stainless steel, so make sure you oil it first. Yeah, but this works just great. And another thing that I recommend is a 5-gallon water tank like this, which should be good enough for 2 nights. And you'll be surprised just how much water you'll use while camping for things like cooking, washing dishes, and maintaining good hygiene. So you need water for all the mentioned things, but not only that, and most importantly, to keep yourself hydrated. I mean, the last thing you want is to be dehydrated out of nowhere. So water is something that's always good to have more and not have when you need it. So make sure to take lots of water with you. Now, cool thing about this water jug is that you could easily fill up with this large opening, and has a turning faucet with attachable extender like that. So that way, you set it on the side of the table like this, your hands are free when using this jug, which is perfect when you're doing dishes or maintaining your hygiene. All right, now to protect yourself from the weather, I do recommend getting a tarp that's big enough to cover the tent and your outdoor living space. This way, you'll be covered from the rain or have shade from the sun. And try to get a tarp that has a silver lining inside, because this way it'll actually protect you from the harmful UV rays and provide cooler shade. And I believe this is a 10 by 10, so it should be enough to cover this tent, which will also keep the tent cool and also provide some outdoor living space. But if you could get a larger tarp, maybe say 10 by 15, that will be even better, because it'll give you more coverage and more living space. And it comes with all the necessary hardware, like the tarp stakes and guide ropes and the poles, which is not even covered, but yeah, it's a basic aluminum. But again, this one has the silver lining inside. I've seen thicker ones than this. I thought it was gonna be much like double lined, but this is a single line, but with silver coating. So, I mean, it's still better than nothing. And obviously I can't set up the tarp here because I can't stake it down to the ground, but it's quite easy to put up a tarp once you get used to it. So I do recommend watching some tutorials first before attempting to put up a tarp, or you could just watch my camping videos too, because I personally use tarp all the time. Now, when it gets dark, you need something to light around your campground. So I got these rechargeable camping lantern that also has a built-in flashlight. So we got 3 different levels of brightness. And then the flashlight, also adjustable. And it comes with this cute looking lantern hat. And how cute is that, right? And with this large opening hook, you could hang it pretty much anywhere. And I got two because they were so cheap to begin with. But the only thing is that this lantern only lasts up to 3 hours. And that might not be enough during the cold winter times when the nights are much longer. So that's why I got two, so I could switch between them when one dies out. So like water, it's always good to have more if you can. If not, two is perfectly fine. Plus, you could recharge these with the USB-C cable, so you could easily recharge one while the other one is being used, like to your car USB port or to your power bank. And what's a camping trip without a campfire, right? Now, if you're going to an actual campsite, chances are there'll be a campfire ring, but sometimes it's not always in an ideal location or unfortunately filled with trash. Yes, it's pretty common to see that. So I always carry my own fire pit so that I could place it near my tent and not have to clean out someone else's trash to use the fire pit. And as you can see, this one is really compact and lightweight and very easy to set up. You just take it out of the bag. And I actually used this before, so I purchased this before. And I'm sure if you guys been following my channel, you've seen this fire pit. So just take it out of the bag. And we have some poles to put. And 4 upper supporting arms. Okay, now start opening them up like so. And we got the base, okay? And then you're going to put these rings into the pole. Squeeze and put in. Squeeze and put it in. And that's it. And we have a fire pit, our own personal fire pit. It's not a huge size. I think this might be like, I don't know, 15 by 15, but it's good enough to put a couple of logs in here and just enjoy the campfire near your tent. So that's why I always carry my own. Now, I highly recommend getting a beefy set of ground stake and a camping hammer, because the ones that comes with most tents, like you saw earlier, or tarp, are pretty much useless. They're very thin, easily bends, and they hardly hold your tent in place. And the last thing you want is your tarp or more importantly, your tent flying away and a sudden gust of wind. So you want to stake your tent and the tarp firmly to the ground, because you never know how the weather might change, and it could change in an instant. So again, I highly recommend getting something that's heavy duty like this. And I think this one is a 10-inch, and they do have up to like 12, 15-inch, but 10-inch will be just perfectly fine for most part. And a basic camping hammer like this, because it has hooks to pull your stakes after grounding them. So let's say this is already staked to the ground like this. So all you have to do is put the end into the hole and just start pulling it out like that. So, again, I do recommend these. So these are some of the basic camping gear you'll need to start your first camping trip. Now, I didn't add a sleeping bag and an ice box because a sleeping bag is something you want to invest in, a good one. And those actually cost a lot more. So, for your trial period, you could bring a thick blanket that you already have at home and try out camping. And if you think you'll continue to go camping, then you could invest in a good one later. Same thing with the ice box. You could use any ice box or ice bag you already have at home, and later invest in a fridge, because that will change your whole camping experience to the next level. And as promised, here's some bonus items. Now, if you're going camping by yourself and want an even easier time setting up a tent, try this instant pop-up tent. All you have to do is just literally take it out of the bag, remove this bungee strap, oop, not yet, and just literally toss it in the air. Well, I couldn't toss it in the air because I have no space, but if I did, just toss it in the air and you have a tent. And that took what, less than 3 seconds to deploy? I mean, how much more easier could this get, right? But the only downside to this tent is that it's very light. So you do need to stake all corners and use the guidelines to attach the upper portion and stake down the tent in place. Also, it's kind of short to fit the cot inside the tent. Or let's say you're 6 foot tall. This tent is not for you because your head might be touching the doors. But you could also find larger pop-up tents, which I have used before with my family and also by myself, and it worked great. It was actually enough to house all 3 of us and still provide some room to keep our stuff in the tent. So this is a great option to keep in mind. And to fold the tent, grab all the poles like this, stand it up, and bring the top down and put it in there. And then just switch and push the upper portion down. And there you have it. And then put it back in the bag and you're good to go. Next, this is an LED lamp. Pretty slick looking, right? So it's got, let me turn it on here. It's got the power buttons on the back, some flashing lights, different, patterns of lights, and a pretty bright camping lantern. It also has flashlights with different patterns. Also has a hook to hang the lantern and magnets to attach the lamp to any metal objects. But check this out. You pull this part out. Well, let me turn it on first. All right, so you pull this out and there's a 10-meter fairy lights. How cool is that, right? So you could make your campsite very cozy, and trust me, like I said before, it's a good idea to have enough lights when camping. And when you're done, you just flip this lever back here and you roll the LED back in its place. And it houses 10 meters in here, which is pretty long actually. When you're done, snap the hook back in its place, give it a little tight squeeze, and you're good to go. And to hang the lights, I got either these clip style hooks that you could clip onto the tarp or to the tent and to hang the light, or these magnetic ones, so you could hang it pretty much anywhere on the tarp, because with the clip style ones, you could only clip it at the edge of the tarp, but with these magnetic ones, you could place it in the middle of the tarp to light up the living area or right above the table. And if you want to test out your outdoor surviving skills, try starting a fire with the flint and a scraper. It's not easy at first, but it's good to practice and know how to use it for that emergency situation. And lastly, a sun hat and a face mask is a good idea while camping in the summer. This way it will protect your skin from the harsh UV rays, and in the wintertime it will actually keep your face warm too. So these are some of the bonus items that I found, and that'll be very interesting to have. So to wrap it up, everything you saw today was purchased from Temu for around $300, including all the bonus items. And if you're new to camping and don't want to invest a lot of money at first, it's a great place to start. Plus, I was able to fit all of this that you saw today in the trunk of my wife's tiny little Prius, so you also don't need a big car to go camping. And if you're a first-time Temu user, download the Temu app from the link in the video description and get $100 coupon bundle, or I think you could search code DNN7337 on the app to get one of these items that you saw today for only $1. I don't know if that's still available, but you could try. And I shop a lot from Temu, or not only for my camping equipment, but our home product as well. I mean, we purchased a lot of stuff from Temu when we moved into our new place. So I'll leave the link and the details in the video description, so make sure to check it out. And I really hope that you'll have a fantastic time while camping and enjoy the peace and tranquility that the outdoor offers. And please remember to leave no trace behind by picking up all your trash. And if you can, leave it cleaner than when you got there so that we could continue to have a place to enjoy. So that's all I have for you guys today. And this video was helpful, please like the video. And I'll be using everything here in the upcoming camping video. So make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So thank you everyone for tuning in today. And as always, keep chasing adventures, and I'll see you all on my next video.